Okay. Dirty Sports 769 live on the YouTube in 5, 4. Okay. Oh God, I thought I turned Dirty Sports. I always do that. All right. Now we're officially live in 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Los Angeles, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
How's it going
today?
over there?
It's good. It's good. Running a little behind. I had to get this run in and running around today. You know, gotta get the haircut. Gotta thin out some of these disgusting chlorine hair and hit the grocery store. You know, big game tonight. Got
huge game for you. Win or lose. Like, how are you looking at this?
Should I go full cut cam and wear a Russell Wilson jersey? Thank you, CT, with my Rams hat.
In your Tom Brady underwear?
Does he have underwear?
I don't know.
If he did, I might buy it.
No, but like seriously, you watched the game tonight. Is it just no rooting interest? Are you just watching it as a analyst from the Dirty Sports Podcast? Or like when somebody gets in the end zone, are you like, yeah, let's go?
Well, I mean, one, I think it's going to be a good game and it's a great rivalry. And, you know, we'll get to the picks. The Rams have certainly, I don't know what the numbers are. I'll look it up, but I feel like they've had the Seahawks and Russell Wilson's number in general. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the Rams offense because they had a down week. But, you know, it's tough when you really like a player like Russ, but then you're like, oh, I want the Rams to do well too. It's a tough spot.
You know, like I don't think I have a boner for any NFL player like you have for Russ. I mean, obviously I'm a LeBron stan, but when LeBron plays the Knicks, I hope he goes 0 for 40 and the Lakers get blown out.
Well, first of all, my Russ fandom is more generated towards you, to be honest. You know that. It's more show generated. It's a weird thing that it's taken on because it's funny. It goes back to 2015. Like yeah. It basically just grew, and I just started liking him more and more when I saw him play.
And it's funny because I've never not liked Russ. I just think Russ is overrated.
But I would almost argue the opposite. Dude, here's my thing with Russ, and this will be our first Russ talk of the season. Sorry, guys, we had to do it. He just became the quickest to get 100 wins. Nobody even talked about it. Like, obviously, it's a team accomplishment. No 100%. Denying it. But everyone on that list is Hall of Famers are going to be a Hall of Famer. Like everyone on the top 5 quickest to 100. All I'm saying is you say overrated. I argue, dude, he's the quickest to 100 wins and nobody even talked about it.
And listen, that's why I like Russ as a player is because he is, you know, he's a great player and he fits in to that system well. But, you know, in terms of the 100 fast to 100 wins, I think it's more, you know, or where he was, team he joined, all the things. Like it's the same thing. I was watching Derek Carr the other day, and I was like, I wonder if David Carr would have had a, you know, like how David Carr's career would have been if he didn't just get drafted by the expansion Texans. Like, sure, I feel like he would have been, you know, David Carr, Derek Carr, like same family, both. You know, David Carr was the first overall pick. It's like sometimes your circumstances really help, as we're seeing with obviously, you know, Matthew Stafford going back to tonight's game. You can go to the 2-year-old video where I said I would take Stafford over Russ, and the thousands of people under our video saying that means I am a casual and I don't know football, and am I drunk? What drugs am I on? I'll never subscribe to this show because if somebody believes Stafford's in Russ's class, and that person is an idiot. And here we are. Changes scenes.
Well, I fully agree with you, but if I bring up that list, you tell me of all these guys who were drafted in like a few of them for sure. But of the top 10, the top 10 quickest to 100 wins, most of these guys were drafted to traditionally good teams. I mean,
Precisely
number 10,
my point, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, it's number 10 is Bradshaw Steelers, Elway to Broncos, Marino Dolphins, Matt Ryan, Jim Kelly, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Like, obviously Peyton Manning came from a 1-win team, and his was, but I'm saying like two of these guys were drafted as Steelers. I mean, Steelers have always they've been good for 40 years.
Right.
Realistically.
Right.
It's
why, people don't talk about Terry Bradshaw as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And honestly, if you when you get into quarterback debates, it's like Terry Bradshaw is like, why don't we talk about him? Oh, I thought it's all rings. Why don't we talk about Terry Bradshaw? Why aren't the Kobe stands also like huge Terry Bradshaw fans?
That's funny. Bradshaw, what did somebody say the other day? Who said that? Somebody was saying I just bit my tongue. I forget where I was. It was some old person who was like, I think he's really funny. And I'm like, oh my God. Somebody was trying to say, he's really funny.
I mean, I don't dislike Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, I don't dislike him either, but
I think he has his moments of humor. I think the funniest thing he's ever said is that he would take Mike McCarthy over Aaron Rodgers. That's the funniest thing anybody said in the history of football.
That's probably the worst take. That I would put that as the worst take, because that was a legit take. That's wasn't
a legit modern football take. He legitimately said he would take Mike McCarthy over Aaron Rodgers.
And that's not Terry Bradshaw trolling. That's not a Stephen A. Smith ESPN type show.
He stands by it to this day. He loves him some Mike McCarthy.
To this day, he stands by it? No.
Yeah. He loves him some Mike McCarthy. It's got to be a Pittsburgh thing, right?
You think?
It's got to be. What's the other? Mike McCarthy's from Pittsburgh.
You want me to pull it up? I think I have it here. It's one of the worst takes ever. Okay, let's see if I have it.
I'd argue it's the worst take ever.
All right, here it is.
And I've heard pros and cons about Aaron, who I love, and some of it I went, you got to be kidding me, really? And McCarthy, on the other hand, I've always said, if I were going to get rid, you ready for this? If I were going to get rid of one of the two.
Hold on. I love how he said, you ready for this?
Yeah. He knew he was about to be hot take Terry Bradshaw.
So reference to everyone. This was recorded December 23rd, 2016. So we're coming up on 5 years ago. You ready for this?
Who would I get rid of? You ready? I get rid of Rodgers. I'm going to keep a great coach. I think that guy is a great coach.
What did you just say?
You heard what I said.
That's Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
Wearing a fedora.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
I mean, how bad is your take when Jason Whitlock thinks it's ridiculous?
What did you just say?
You heard what I said. I think McCarthy is one of those coaches that you absolutely hang on to, especially now if you look at Rodgers. And how old is he now? 32, 33? Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. There is
worst modern sports take in history.
Modern, like, you could argue that's the worst sports take in the history of sports. I mean, I don't know what they were doing in the 30s. I don't know.
Well, they were saying like black people shouldn't be allowed to play sports with white people. So
that was a pretty bad take.
Modern takes. We're doing, Post Jackie Robinson, modern days.
Post integration.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. What did you just say? What are some of your takes on these baseball games? That's what I want to hear.
On the games that happened?
Yeah, we've had 2.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Ding Dong the Witch is dead in the battle between ISIS and Al Qaeda. ISIS won, and the Red Sox move on. There's a lot of, Yankees fan whining about the Stanton shots off the wall. There had been homers in Yankee Stadium and blah, 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 blah. And who cares? Like that game, the Red Sox came out and dominated. Garrett Cole, in a post sticky stuff world, gets $300 and whatever million, makes it through 3 innings. Just absolute domination by the Red Sox. The Yankees rolled over. And then, of course, a fantastic game last night. Looked like we were going to have a real epic Dave Roberts moment. He's pulling out Scherzer.
Yeah, but I knew you were going to say it. Somebody actually DM'd me about that.
Yeah.
Scherzer had 94 pitches in 4 innings, and he wasn't.
No, listen.
I mean, you'd pull him out right. He had 3 walks. He wasn't throwing strikes.
Listen, that's a 1-game playoff series. Like it worked out. But it's all a matter of, I don't think taking him out in that situation is a bad call, but then it's a matter of like, can you get through the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th with your bullpen, which they did. So good for them. I was just saying we had if runs had been given up, we had a Dave Roberts thing on us where people were like, oh my God. And then also, you have this Dave Roberts has to stand up to Mad Max, the crazy man. What do you mean I got 94 pitches? I'll throw 300 pitches in the fiery pits of hell.
By the way, speaking of bad takes, this beef you have with Max Scherzer, I still unfounded.
I have no beef with Max Scherzer.
You love shredding Max Scherzer.
I just think Max Scherzer's whole character is just such clown shoes. It's it's so fucking lame.
I think you're just mad he's not on the Mets.
No, I'm not mad that he's not on the Mets. He was a Mets rival forever. I actually hate it when guys like that join my team. Like, I don't want those guys coming around. I didn't love Curtis Granderson had to win me over after being a Yankee, like that's not my thing. I just think the whole character is just so lame. He was drunk by the end of the game. He's on TV after the game. Like, what? Fix the sound. I'm drunk. Mad Max went into the clubhouse and got wasted in the 4th.
Your Mad Max is kind of like a Gruden grinder, I've noticed. And you're like, yeah, I'm just grinding on the pitchers, man.
I'll just fucking motherfuck you and all that, It's just, I just hate it gives me Jameis vibes. It gives me Jameis like fake leader vibes.
Well, the difference is one is great. One's won a World Series, one's Cy Young winner.
Totally. No, I'm no
That's
doubt.
kind of disrespectful, kind of, be honest.
No, it has nothing to do with talent. I've never argued Max Scherzer's not one of the best pitchers I've seen in my lifetime. I'm just like, your whole character is kind of fucking lame,
Well, for me, I want to double down on these one game. You have a game like last night. Obviously, it goes to the 9th, walk-off. That sucks if you're a Cardinals fan.
Totally.
Or if you're a Cardinals player. You win 17 in a row, you lose in a tough walk-off on the road, and you're just done?
Yeah. I mean, listen, 1-game baseball playoffs are so stupid.
Gotta be 3 games.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Honestly, you know what I'd be down to do even? I'd even be down to say, like, go college World Series style. Go where, the second wild card team's got to win 2.
I like it. That is good. I like it.
Like, I'm down for that. 2 of 3
force
or whatever
a game 3.
it is. Yeah. Some method. If they win 1, it opens up a 3rd game. Now it's best of 3. If they lose the first one, they're out. Sure. But like, I don't know. Some method that is other than every series in baseball, regular season, preseason, every series is more than one game. And now you one game and done. And listen, total win-win for me that Dodgers, like I was rooting for the Cardinals, but like I don't love the Cardinals either. You know, a Mets fan. We have our own like old school NL East Cardinals rivalry from back in the day. We've always been fighting for the love of Keith Hernandez for 35 years now. So there's a lot of stuff I don't love about the Cardinals. You know, we have some epic failures versus the Cardinals, but I was rooting for them just because like I would love the Dodgers to have a 106 win, one and done. But I'm also win-win, like nothing's better than Dodgers Giants for an NLDS series. Like, let's go. That's a great baseball rivalry. Now you have the fact that you didn't win the division. You have to use Scherzer in a one game thing. Now he might come back and pitch game one of the NLDS. I don't know. He's mad. He's gone mad. He's crazy. He's already yelling at Dave Roberts. Give me the ball. What are you fucking doing? I want to fucking pitch game one. Why the fuck wouldn't I? 94 pitches. That was fucking yesterday. So we'll see, but maybe he's going to be safe at game 3 because it's in Northern California. I know he really enjoys the warmer weather. So maybe he's going to hold off for game 3 until it comes home. We'll see. But I mean, who's not excited? If you're a baseball fan, you got to be excited about that. The same way I was excited about Yankees Red Sox, one game for a spot in the playoffs is awesome too.
At this point, do the Yankees is Boone on the chopping block to be fired?
I mean, Aaron Boone, like in sports, it's weird that like Yankees manager is like the only job you can get with absolutely no experience doing it. Like he wasn't a fucking coach.
Yeah.
Like, the Yankees are also built poorly. I feel like they're now sort of fence sitting between the old Steinbrenner days and the new days of like, let's try to figure stuff. Like they still overspend in certain places, but in other places they try to like pretend that they're not. It's like, honestly, you're still the Yankees. Just fucking go all in. Now, it's not that they don't spend a ton of money, but like they've gotten outbid for certain guys, and then of course, Garrett Cole, he's your ace. He lets you down. So it's like, it's tough. If he comes out and shoves, they're probably in, but he doesn't. And they got, they were out of that game pretty immediately.
Yeah.
Just a poor performance by Cole. He's, he wasn't challenging people with his fastball. He's missing pitches. And guys are hitting him out of the ballpark. Like, as a New Yorker and somebody who follows like New York, like rivalry stuff, like the talk forever was Cole, DeGrom. And it's like, that we put that to bed a while ago. DeGrom put that to bed a while ago. But also like the thing about Cole is he comes out in that game, he gives up a bomb early and he doesn't find himself. He doesn't right the ship immediately. So like, I don't know how much you can put that on Aaron Boone, but at the same time, I was always like, how are the Yankees hiring Aaron Boone to be their manager? Like it's the equivalent of the Mets hiring Mookie Wilson.
What's Mookie doing these days?
I don't know. Not managing baseball, which is precisely why it's the exact same thing as the Mets hiring Mookie.
Is that his real name, or that's got to be a nickname, right?
It's got to be a nickname.
Like, imagine if you named your kid Mookie. I'm going to look it up. William Hayward Mookie Wilson.
Yeah. And the story is always the same thing for those guys, right? Like his grandma started calling him Mookie after blah, blah. He couldn't say Michael, so they called him Mookie.
Let's see where he gets. Born in Bamberg, South Carolina. William Hayward Wilson was nicknamed Mookie as a small child. Yeah. It's probably something like that. It's a good nickname, though.
Yeah.
Well, games are going to be, I'm just looking at the schedule. I mean, you got a lot of games coming up. So now,
that's the thing. We get through these 2 games, fun, exciting, games. Obviously, last night's game was awesome. Yankees, Red Sox, great rivalry. But now we have really, really, really fun baseball ahead of us.
Yeah. A lot of games. I mean, we got one starting in less than 3 hours.
What did you think of Juan Soto sitting in the on-deck circle with Nationals hitting coach Kevin Long in a Trey Turner jersey?
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know. I mean, I love the supporting your old teammates, but it was interesting.
Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah.
Like,
best player, arguably the best player in baseball, showing up, fanning out over his former teammate.
Well, my thing is, if I'm done, I want to get away from it. Like if my season's over.
I mean, maybe he got away from it in that he came out to LA or something like that, got out of the DC area. He's coming in search of warm weather. And he's like, yo, we should go support Trey while we're here. Although he was there with Kevin Long. So,
I mean, that'd be like you sitting in the front row, one of your favorite comics, like front row. You're not sitting at the front row doing the 2-drink minimum meal.
No.
Isn't that the equivalent? I think that's the equivalent. Like you going to see who's one of your favorite comics? You going to see like a Carrot Top show.
Yeah.
Front row. Is he still doing his thing? The Luxor?
I don't know.
I think he is. If I said I had free tickets to Carrot Top, would you go?
I'd be like, yeah, I'm on my way. And then I wouldn't show up and I'd be like, sorry, I couldn't make it. I got mugged.
That's for the YouTube crowd right there.
Sorry, I was part of a terrible mugging. I couldn't make it.
That's a great visual because it's stash on stash crime. Oh, we're going to be here all night, folks. I would see him for free. If somebody said I had free tickets to Carrot Top, I would see just out of
I have a feeling a dirtball's about to tell you do have free tickets to see Carrot Top.
I had a dirtball DM me about tickets for Pacers for free.
Are you going to an Indiana Pacers game?
Yeah, it's like any game you want. He's like,
how far is Indianapolis?
It's like an hour and a half.
You should go to games. You should be a Pacers fan.
He was like,
you gonna get your boy Ben Simmons?
He was like, it's like you can take the tickets for, I got season tickets, take tickets for one home game, take somebody else, or go with me. And I'm thinking, that's like a blind date. It'd be kind of funny. Yeah. I meet a dirtball. We're sitting next to each other. It's just 2 hours of awkwardness. So what do you do? I work in construction. What do you do? I'm a podcast host. That's how you message me. So
love this weird thing where you guys are gonna pretend you don't know each other before you meet.
I mean, let's be honest. We've had some weird interactions with dirtballs before.
I mean, almost exclusively.
Like, what's the weirdest interaction we've had?
Oh,
I'm feeling like you're gonna get shot up if you say something.
Yeah, I know. That's. I plead the fifth.
I mean, Fat Jason Kid's up there.
Fat Jason Kid, but he wasn't that weird. We just
no. I'm saying that was up there like weird, funny.
Yeah, it was only weird because he didn't say hello, and then we had to recognize him.
That was an all-time story. What made that great was like I was really baked, and it just made it like, what is happening?
Did you see the Fat Jason Kidd picture that came out today?
No.
There's a picture of Jason Kidd posted in like a Mavs warm-up. And I was like, oh, look, it's actually Fat Jason Kidd.
So Jason Kidd is fat. I literally put Fat Jason Kidd. Dude, no lie. I put Fat Jason Kidd into Google. The dirtball is the first thing to The image of him is the first thing that shows up.
Really?
The first two images is his face. The second image is me, you, and him. No lie, at the Giants Mets game.
That's amazing.
And then his YouTube and his Twitter. That picture is unbelievable. That's a great picture. That's a legendary moment. Well, I want to bring up this news story because to me it's very dirty sports, and then we'll get to some NFL picks.
Okay.
So, hockey player, and I know nothing about hockey, obviously. So Evander Kane is always making the news, right?
Yeah, he's the one whose wife accused him of betting on hockey, and
Which they investigated and said is not true.
right. But she made a whole bunch of wild claims, right?
Yeah. So now he's being investigated for allegations that he used a fake COVID-19 vaccination card.
So it sounds like no matter what, I mean, based on, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. Sounds like the dude's just a scumbag, right?
Well, she's also accused him of domestic assault,
Right.
but she didn't participate.
In the fake VAX card claim.
Well, she didn't participate she claimed he was betting, and the NHL went to her. She didn't participate in that. This is wild. The fake Vax card is wild. Like, dude, you're not going to a Dead and Company concert. For the record, the Dead and Company I was shocked. They made me show my ID with my Vax card.
Did I tell you when we did the last episode, every single place in New Orleans had to show a Vaxgarten ID?
No.
Everywhere. Every single place. Some of them were some of them were like, cool, thanks. And some of them were like, checking it. Like some of them were, but like, I mean, I didn't go in anywhere. Not one place that didn't ask.
That's interesting.
It's an entirely tourist-based economy. They're just like, we just can't have bars and restaurants shut down again. We can't have bars and restaurants, people like getting sick and not being able to work. And everybody would like, I didn't see a whole lot of people. I didn't see one like Karen flipping out like the whole time. I mean, maybe there are people who just don't go out because of it, but
yeah,
I didn't see anybody like, how fucking dare you?
Well, my question is like, when does it end? That's what I would count.
Right.
Like, when does that end? Asking people to show it.
Well, I guess if you have a process in place, like, what almost like, what does it matter? Like, I go to bars now, people ask me for my ID still. I'm like, when does it end, guys?
Yeah, no, it's true.
My mustache is older than the guy checking my ID.
Yeah, I take it like a badge of honor now when they ID me to get into a bar. I'm like, really? I'm gonna be 40. And then he's like, dude, did you frost your tips? I'm like, no, it is the chlorine for the millionth time. I did not frost my tips. I don't wear a cap in the pool. I started using shampoo, so then it evens it out. So now I get the original. I mean,
roots. You look like a character in like a 90s or like early 2000s, like teen com. You look like the guy who like is too old but still shows up to the can't hardly wait party and is like drinking outside with like Jerry O'Connell.
Which might be
like,
me.
Hello, fellow kids.
Which that could be me. I mean, I've already said if my high school football team makes the state championship, I'm headed to Canton. So that will be me. I'll do it. I got the 20-year reunion coming up in a few weeks. But it's not frosted. I'm getting a haircut today. I'll talk to my
Just start wearing a cap, dude. I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't even know that wasn't part. I was like, how is this happening? Just wear a cap.
Yeah, I need to get one. I got some new goggles.
Order one on Amazon for $2.
Yeah, you're right. I will. I'll do it.
Or be frosted tips guy.
It's not even the tip.
You literally look like a background player in American Pie. that likes, some movie nerds like, look at this extra, it's 40.
Oh my God. I really do.
So what is going on with Evander Kane? Like, so does that mean like, I don't know. I'm assuming a fake VAX card is like illegal.
Yeah. So they're investigating the NHL is, but I would think that would be criminal.
Right. I would assume. I don't know.
Although I don't know how they could like, I don't know. It's obviously the protocol is different, but like mine's just a card where somebody wrote,
Yeah.
The nurse just wrote the shot, the date.
Yeah. Now that number that's on it, I'm assuming corresponds to a database that has your information.
True.
It, right?
You do. Like if you got your vaccinations through CVS and you lose your card, you can call that CVS and they have it all in the system. It's crazy though. Like it's funny. I put this in like the Urban Meyer wheelhouse of like, what's going on? Which
I mean, the Urban Meyer conspiracies of the last few days,
dude,
that he wants to get fired. But by the way, did you know the bar was an Urban Meyer bar?
I didn't realize that till later. So he went up to Columbus.
So it's like Urban Meyer's Pint House or whatever like that. And apparently behind the bar, there's like an Urban Meyer mural, like not like some sort of, I guess, like graphic designer's mural where it's like a bunch of his successes and a bunch of his pictures. So there's literally a picture of him hugging his wife in a mural. So he was like thumbing some girl's ass under the picture of him and his wife.
It's amazing. I didn't know that. That is an amazing tidbit to the story.
Urban Meyer gives zero fucks.
Well, it's, I tweeted the horniness of men. Like women are horny too. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like men, we will do stupid shit. Dude, he basically said this. Let's just break it down. I don't see anybody really breaking it down like this. He literally said, I don't give a shit about my job, my team, anything. I want pussy.
This is why the conspiracy theory of like, did he do it on purpose kind of holds water, because like
it does hold water.
There's just no way he didn't know somebody at the bar named after Urban Meyer wouldn't take out a camera and start filming Urban Meyer.
Oh, dude, I got even more info on
it. Also, here's another thing I'll say. So you remember, like, I don't know who, like, the conspiracy of these people are in on it. Like, are all the chicks in on it? Because how does a woman go, who is this guy, when you're at a bar named after him? Like, if a giant
was the bar, are you sure the bar was named after him?
Yeah. It's like Urban Myers, whatever.
I wouldn't put that past
a dumb college girl or whatever.
Yeah, I like.
Not that she looked like she was in college, but
yeah, but I wouldn't like if she doesn't follow sports.
But I'm just saying, a clown comes up to you at McDonald's, you're like, "Yo, it's Ronald." You're Ronald.
I'm running.
You know
actually.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a mouse comes up to you at fucking Chuck E. Cheese's, you're like, "Chuck, what's up?" You know, you're not like, "Who is this mouse? He's been trying to get me to fucking play Papa Shot."
Well, to me, this is one of the best stories ever because nobody does this. So I was watching Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk talk about it on Pat's show. And they both were saying, this is unheard of for a coach to not go back with it. Like, it's unheard of.
That was the first thing I thought when I heard the story originally, or when I heard the press conference. And they were
coach
like,
or player.
When he said that he was asked, he was like, "No, I went back separately." Like, totally unheard of.
Unheard of. In fact, even in high school, this is high school. If we played a team on like my side of town, because my high school is about 40 minutes away. If we played a team right by me, and this isn't even a varsity level, right? This is freshman, JV. You had to take the bus back to the high school, and then they didn't say, "Oh, you can go home with your parents who were at the game watching."
Yeah.
This is high school. This guy's a pro. I mean,
my one year I coached baseball. I had a game scheduled that like I didn't know it was going to be scheduled. We like went further in the playoffs. I thought I had a trip to Mexico planned. And after the game, the season was over. And I had my buddy like meet me down there and pick me up and like we drove down to Mexico. But I was like very close because I was like, it feels like wildly inappropriate not to have to trek all the way back to school, like go 45 miles north back to school just to get in a car and make those 45 miles up again, because just to not ride back to your team. But in the NFL,
also a tough loss, game you're winning. It's going to be your first.
I understand it's
win.
Thursday. You're probably not practicing again until Monday or whatever, but
what does that do? I don't know if you've read, I've read a ton of the reports. They said that locker room is so lost. Like he lost those players.
Yeah.
And
I've read a bunch of stuff that like every time he talks, people just laugh at him.
They laugh. I think he should have quit, or they should have fired him, because at this point you're 0-4. You still have 13 more games. You've completely lost credibility with your team.
I think, the part of the conspiracy is he wants the USC job, right?
That's yes.
But the other part of the conspiracy, I assume, is that he wants to get paid for this job. So if he quits, he doesn't get paid, right? But if he gets fired, he gets paid and he gets to take another job, which, by the way, how much money do you need? Apparently you're only drinking at fucking shitty college town tap houses named after you.
Well, there was an even bigger reveal today about all the stuff behind the scenes on the videos. So the Wall Street Journal published a story titled "The Electrician Who Shocked the NFL with the Videos of Urban Meyer." This is even funnier. A Columbus, Ohio electrician posted the videos, but here's the best part. He's an Ohio State fan turned anti-Urban Meyer person. Someone tipped him. Dude, there's so much behind this story. I was loving reading it this morning.
Someone tipped him?
So he wasn't there.
Wow. He drives over?
No. So they tipped him and sent him the videos. So he gets the videos. He posts one on a burner account. Yeah, I don't think anybody's talking about this. So he posted on a burner account.
Okay.
Monday, the first video.
A burner Twitter account.
A burner Twitter account at _O_Urban. I mean, he created it. Urban. And then he posts the second one from his own burner account, or from his own account, I believe, at freak_leader. This is so funny to me. So this guy's 34 years old. He himself, his name is DJ Burns. This is like a 30 for 30.
DJ Burner account.
This guy has a storied past as well. He got in trouble for allegedly trying to rob drug dealers in Montana.
Okay.
So this guy has a history. He took some classes at Ohio State, never graduated, diehard roots for the team. He also ran for the Ohio State House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
So he currently pens a newsletter called The Rooster, which focuses on local politics. So he spent years covering Meyer and writing about Ohio State online. But then when the scandal happened with Meyer at Ohio State of, I don't know if you remember the alleged spousal abuse by the former wide receiver coach, and how Ohio State, he didn't like how they handled it and they covered it up. And so this guy has turned into an anti-Urban Meyer guy. So he wanted to get Meyer, and somebody tipped him with these videos. I mean, this whole thing is wild. So he wasn't there. He posted them. He had a great quote. I'm trying to find it in the article where he's talking about his revenge. I mean, this guy's unbelievable.
Do you remember us being like over under on like how long he's going to be there, or how wins, all that? Like, it's amazing that it's happening way before it.
This is his quote. You're gonna love this quote. When interviewed, he says, "I do have this is the guy DJ Burns, who posted the videos. He said, I do have a reputation as somebody who enjoys serving the rich and powerful shit cocktails." This whole thing is so ridiculous.
Classic DJ Burns.
So at the end of the day, Brano, Urban Meyer was brought down by an unhappy Buckeye fan who didn't like how they handled covering up domestic abuse. And like just some normal electrician who, I don't know, runs some blogs. Dude, 2021 is wild. Who can bring somebody down? So think about it. If he doesn't get the tip, I don't know if that stuff's out there.
Right.
I mean, it's like remember when we were at a certain bar, I'm not going to say the account, right? I'm not going to say the account. And we saw someone boozing it up.
Oh yeah.
And I posted it online from a other account, and Deadspin picked up the story. But at the end of the day, for Urban,
that other account would never sell out Urban. They're too close.
Yeah.
They're too close to sell him out.
Exactly. At the end of the day, I do think there is legit.
But now let me ask you a question. So here's the problem with the whole conspiracy theory, right? Could US, like, if you're a USC, you can't hire Urban if he got fired yesterday. You can't hire him to be your coach.
Yeah, you can.
That would be so fucking stupid, though.
They don't care.
Who are you if you're like, I don't know. I don't know any dirtballs who are like psycho USC Trojans fans, but if there are any listeners out there who root for the USC Trojans, it's like, is OJ going to be his offensive coordinator? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Love it. Yeah, make it happen.
You can't be like, if you're a USC guy, you can't be sitting there going like, yeah, I hope Urban does.
I think you do.
We want him.
He's won every single program he's gone to in college. Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, Ohio State. He's literally won at every program. And you're talking about.
But isn't this all part of it? Like, if you're a high school player coming out now, do you want to go with like old creep hands Urban Meyer to SC?
Look what, dude, they've been out of the major picture for a while now. They need a name. I would argue he turns that program around instantly, especially in the Pac-12. That's a weak conference.
I just think that's as far as conspiracy theory goes, it's like a high risk maneuver.
It is.
We were inverted. Oh, bullshit.
I mean, he does own a house out there.
Yeah. It's where his cardiologist is, so that's good.
I think we should get to the games because I am going heavy. I don't even know who the Jags are playing. I'm going heavy against them. But before we do that, I just want to say that the fall weather is here, Joe. The nice crisp fall air. The fire pits will be happening at my residence. And you know what will be around those fire pits? People drinking Miller Lite. Is there anything better than a crisp, cold Miller Lite with friends at a fire pit?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went out last night, the local bar here, walked in, got myself a couple Miller Lights. It just felt right. It just feels good. Watching a little playoff baseball, drinking Miller Lights. Like, playoff baseball season is here. Preseason basketball is here. Football season is here. Like, so many excuses. The crisp weather, like you said.
Well, and it's just a go-to.
Pumpkin picking.
It's a go-to staple, right?
Yeah.
It's like my brother asked me the other day. He had to come over and help me with some stuff. He's like, you got any Miller Lite? He's like, I just need to know that you got some Miller Lights that I can kick back. I said, dude, come on.
Always.
The fridge always has Miller Lite. It's been the official light beer.
Andy Ruther's house, presented by Miller Lite.
Exactly. Since 1975, Miller Lite has been the beer with taste you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just a beer for people who like beer. I think that's 100% true. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Okay, let's get to today's games. I'm sorry, to this week 5.
Including today's game.
And as usual, we are going to look up the spreads on the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook and fantasy partner of Dirty Sports. If you guys haven't signed up, do that right now. FanDuel.com/dirty. Okay.
Pulling up my FanDuel account right now.
So
I can read along with you.
Tonight we have that great game. At least it looks on paper to be a good game. The Rams at Seahawks. This line keeps moving in favor of the Rams.
Really? Where are we at now?
2.5 Rams.
Wow.
It started at around 1.5.
Yeah, it started like 1. I was actually surprised that they even, like, I could have seen it being a 1-point Seahawks favorite to open the line. Home game, but it just keeps moving toward the Rams, huh?
Yeah, I know. All right. So remember, we're going to have to take turns. So I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now. In 18 regular season matchups, Russ is 8-10 against the Rams. I bet that's the only team he has a losing record against. He's now 8-11 after the playoff loss last year. So he's had problems. And he's had problems against a lot of times where the Seahawks are much better teams. But the Rams defense has always given him hell. I think the Rams defense is going to come out hungry. They gave up a lot of points last week. They got shredded. Kyler Murray made them look really bad. I still don't have, the trust in this team. I'm going to ride that spread. I think the Rams win and cover at 2.5. I think they win by 3 or more.
You don't think that he cooks that D? You don't think it's not going to serve up some unlimitedness?
I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Rams win by 3 or more.
I really liked Rams -1. I really liked Rams -1.5, 2.5. I mean, now it's still a field goal game, so it's kind of insane not to take the Rams. So I'm going to, but I think it's a close game, and I think it's a low scoring game. I mean, and by low scoring, I mean I think the over under was 56, maybe. Like I could
53 and it's 53.5.
Wow. So I think it could be in that realm, which is like, I could see a 21-17 game. I could see a lower-ish scoring game than the number. Like you said, I think Rams defense comes out, and it's just a matter of how much can the Rams put up points wise.
Well, they're tough to run against. They just got some big guys in the middle, and the Seahawks need to run the ball. The Rams defense is just so good. You got great DBs, and you can't go one out. Like, I know they got great receivers in Seattle, but this is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
And they always get to Russ.
And you need to run the ball because you need to set up play action. That's that's the Russ secret weapon. That's what Russ does. That's why let Russ cook is a, reckless claim, because especially with the pass rush that the Rams have, like, you don't want Russ dropping back 45 times in this game.
No. You want 20 to 25 max. Yeah. All right. So it looks like we're on the same page with that one. Next up, we have a London game.
Ooh. Who's the London game?
This will be the New York Jets at the Atlanta Falcons.
Really? That's the London game.
This will be 6:30 in the morning your time.
Wow.
9:30 my time. Jets at Falcons. Falcons are 3-point favorites. I mean, this game, you go first, but that's a tough one.
The Jets had their big win last week. I think a letdown following, like, I don't see the Jets stringing games together. The thing that does make it a little wonky is the London factor. I think the London factor just is going to make every game, no matter who's playing it, a little weird. But that being said, the combo of the Jets letdown game, and it's funny to call anything a letdown game when they're going for their second straight win, but the combo of the Jets not being able to piece 2 consecutive wins together, combined with the London game, I'm going to take the team with that's older, that's got more veterans. And I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think could absolutely come down to a field goal, but I'm going to coin flip on that field goal and take the Falcons.
Yeah, and we don't, and I don't know if Zach Wilson is allowed in the country because he's unvaccinated.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm joking, but not joking.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's unvaccinated. I'm just playing. I like what you said, and I was kind of thinking the same thing. This young team, you're traveling across the pond. I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to go with the Falcons. Okay, Philly travels to Carolina. I think Christian McCaffrey is back.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, already. Carolina's 3-point favorites. They also just signed or they traded for Gilmore from the Patriots. I like that. And he's older. He's 31, but I like that pickup. I like the Panthers to bounce back because I like their D. I like them to win and cover against Philly in this.
Man, these numbers today.
They're tough. This is a tough week, I think.
Yeah. I had 3.5 and 4 in some other leagues. 3 puts it right back into that kind of a coin flip game. I took the Eagles in my 3.5 in my league that's got it at 3.5. I took the Eagles in my league that's got it at 4. I'll take the Eagles at 3 just to stay consistent. I think this game could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers kick the shit out of them. I'd be way more surprised if the Eagles win this game than if the Panthers kick the shit out of them. But I could see it being close. I hate that it's 3, but yeah, fuck it. I'll stick with the Eagles.
Next up, Florida game. Dolphins travel to Tampa Bay, where the Bucs are 10-point favorites against Josie Bersholi.
A lot of people I've seen this as a lot of people's pick on the Dolphins. I think the Bucs after a tough game. Tom Brady doesn't like Miami, but now I feel like maybe he's gotten accustomed to the Florida Heat playing in Tampa for now his second season. I like the Bucs to win and cover. And was I supposed to go first there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I like the Bucs to win and cover.
I think you were right.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. 'Cause you took the Panthers.
Yeah, I like the Bucs to win and cover as well. I just don't think Miami can generate enough points. That's their problem.
Yeah, I agree.
They just don't have an offense. Their defense will keep them in the game. Game-ish for how long?
And also, I think when you watch that Bucs game last week and the Bucs don't play great and the Bucs don't move the ball, like Tom Brady now has it's not often Tom Brady has like 2 mediocre games in a row, even at 48. And, I don't know, maybe New England, knowing he was coming, made sure to hide all the freshly born babies. I don't know. Like in Florida, though, that shit is available. It's available at Robert Kraft's fucking Jack Shack.
Florida's wild, man. All right, next up, the Saints travel to D.C. against the Washington football team. The Saints are 2.5-point favorites.
Jesus.
So I guess it's my turn to go first. Another tough one. This is a real tough one for me. I don't know. I don't see. So they're both 2-2. Do the Saints fall to 2-3? Because basically, I think this is going to come down to a field goal. So I'm kind of just picking who I think is going to win. I'm going to go with the Saints. Although they burned me last week, I'm going to go with the Saints to win and cover.
I'm going to go with the Saints as well. I think that Sean Payton has to have heard the talk. And I think Sean Payton's a good enough coach. I'm also like I'm not a Sean Payton stan by any means. But like the most elementary football watcher watches that game last week and says, bro, you just can't play afraid football.
Yeah.
I think he has to make a change. I think Washington's defense is not what people thought they were going to be. I think the Saints have a 10-point victory or a touchdown victory.
All right. The Urban Meyer game of the week. We have, sorry. All right. We have, my voice is all weird. I need to water. It's that kombucha. Okay. The Titans are the ones playing the Jags this week. Titans travel to Jacksonville. They're 4.5-point favorites.
This line's come down a lot. I think it was in the 7 range to start.
Really? Your turn. I mean, I've already basically revealed what I think.
Oh, I mean, I'm taking the Titans. I have the Titans at 7.5 in another league. I have the Titans to win. I mean, I think this has a potential of being a 40-point Titans win followed by an Urban Meyer firing. I think it's more likely. Now, it'll probably be a touchdown game. It'll probably be a 5-point game. You know, Vegas knows what they're doing. But I think it's more likely that the Titans blow out the Jaguars and the Urban Meyer's immediately dismissed after the game and some player like spits at him on his own sideline than it is that the Jaguars win this game.
I've heard after the game, even though it's a home game, Urban Meyer plans to not meet the team after the game. He's going to hop on a plane and go to Columbus to go to his own bar to spend time with his grandkids. But that's the favorite part of all this, to spend time with his family.
Yeah. His wife, I didn't realize too, his wife tweeted, you know, that she was home with the kids. I didn't realize his wife No, I know you told me that during this original story, but I didn't realize it was a quote tweet of him being out.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
She's like, meanwhile, I'm home with the kids.
And he's trying to thumb some girl. All right, this next one is a toughie, I think, as well. Lions at Vikings. It's my turn. The Vikings are 9.5-point favorites. Now, I took the Lions last week. The Lions have been off and on for me. I keep taking them to cover. This is just such a big spread to me. The Lions are not a terrible team. I know you are what your record is, but like they're not the Jags, in my opinion. Like they hang in games. This is just too big of a spread for me. And I'm going to regret it. And I keep doing it. And Detroit keeps letting me down. I'm going to take the Lions to cover at 9.5.
Are you sure? I want you to be sure before I make my pick. I want you to be, because it seems like you're struggling internally with your.
Well, I'm going to go for it. I don't like it. I don't know if there's something I'm missing. If there's injuries, I haven't looked extensively at this game because, quite frankly, I don't really care about Lions Vikings. But I'm going to go with Detroit. Again, I don't like it. I'm going to go with Detroit. For some reason, my gut is saying, try them again.
I'm with you. Sadly, I was hoping that this would be a place.
Oh, you're trying to trick me.
Yeah, I was hoping this would be a place to get a different, thing in there. So far, I think our only difference might be the Eagles, which fucking, makes me want to kill myself. But yeah, I just think that spread's too high. And I'll say this as well. The the thought process of the Lions aren't that bad and they keep letting me down and blah, blah. It's like, that's not even in my fucking worldview when I make this pick. I'm just like, I truly believe the Vikings should not be 9.5 point favorites over your high school team. Like, I just don't think the Vikings are very good. And now I've been seeing this whole, like, the Vikings are the best 1-3 team. It's like, first of all, who gives a shit? And second of all, like, I fucking still disagree. Now, Kirk Cousins loves to light up shitty teams and make people give him a bunch of money, but I just can't pick the Vikings favored by 9.5 against anybody. They were sitting at like 7 points all last week.
Well, they played Cleveland's a good team.
Sure. But you're going to score 7 points on you and just you score 40 against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I just can't do it.
That's why I also can't do it.
All right, Broncos travel to Steelers. Steelers are 1.5 favorite.
This is me.
Yeah, let me. It's only fair. We got to look up who's playing quarterback this week for the Broncos because Drew Lock played last week and he was terrible. It looks like Drew Lock's probably going to play.
It actually, I mean, it's a factor, but it's not that big of a factor. I have the Steelers to win the game, and the Steelers are getting points at home, just not like home dog. Pittsburgh, I don't even fucking believe in this Pittsburgh team. I've been calling for the death of this Pitts. I've been calling of the death of the Mike Tomlin era for like 3 seasons now, but just a home underdog in Pittsburgh. Nah, I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm not. God, they're terrible. I think the Steelers are terrible.
Let's go.
Let's get a different pick in. As much as, again, I don't like Lock playing.
Yeah.
The Steelers can't score points, man.
Yeah.
It's like watching a quarterback die in real time. It's sad. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos.
Love it.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers coming to Cincinnati this week.
How are you not going to that game, dog?
Well, I can't. I have 4th grade basketball tryouts.
Oh, damn. You'll be out there with a clipboard.
Yeah. I know it's called evaluations. And then we do a snake because at that age.
Tryouts are offensive. Word tryouts.
Well, they don't do official try. There's not like once they get to 6th grade is when it's like the A team, B team, C team.
Right. This is just basically evaluation for a draft process.
Yeah, snake draft. But I know the players, from last year. I know like the guys on one of my teams. So that's 1:00 Sunday. So I can't do that. And we have a
literally middle football. 1:00 Sunday.
I texted my buddy, who's the head coach. I said, bro, they do this 1:00 on a Sunday. Like, and then there's a block party here too. I'm like, are we just destroying my Sunday? There's a block party from 5 to 7. You guys want to rate it? If you're local, show up. But I don't need to be at this game. This spread to me is it's 3 points. And I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers win and cover, or knowing my luck, the Bengals somehow win and then everybody in Cincinnati goes nuts and the Bengals lose 8 in a row. I just think 3 points isn't enough.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the Packers look too good. Like, I think the Bengals have been surprisingly good, and I think it has an opportunity to be a close game. But like, I mean, even backdoor Burrow, you got to backdoor yourself into a 3-point game. Like, if this was a 5-point game, I'd be all over backdoor Burrow being down 10 and getting a late touch, or being down 14 and getting a late touch. But 3 points, I can't backdoor Burrow.
Yeah. Now, Aaron Rodgers actually has a losing record in his career. It's small. I think he's 1-2 against the Bengals, which is pretty funny. But I just don't see it happening. And their defense has been playing decent as well. Okay, the Patriots travel to Houston. Patriots are 8.5 point favorites on the road. It's a big spread. I believe Davis Mills is still the starting quarterback for the Texans.
8.5 seems too high for a New England team that's not putting a ton of points on the board. I think I was burned by the Texans last week, though, saying they're 15 or whatever they were getting against the Bills. They lose fucking 40-0. So I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, Texans suck. We disagreed on that one last week, and I was lucky. I'm gonna do that same mentality and go with New England to cover. All right, the Bears travel to Las Vegas for the Raiders. Our 5.5 point favorites. Justin Fields has looked bad. He's struggled. He's got the rookie blues. He's not. I just 5.5 is a lot. The Raiders can score a lot, but then they struggled the first half against the Chargers. The Chargers look really good for the record. It's my turn. I'm gonna go with the Bears to cover. I'm gonna regret this, but I'm doing it.
I have the Bears as a pick in all of my leagues. Let me just double check something here, because I agree with you. I think that
it's just that's big.
That spread's too high. But for the sake of competition, it's not as big as where I picked the Bears at. I'm gonna swap my pick entirely. I'm gonna pick the Raiders. I'm gonna pick the Raiders to win and cover. I think that they're just at home and they're explosive. I just don't see the Bears keeping up with them points wise. Meanwhile, all the things I convinced myself of, I'm just gonna, for the sake of competition, I switched it. I literally just changed the button on my pick. Let's go, the Raiders! Bounce back game. Raiders, man, they lose at, what was that, a 14-point loss or whatever? But boy, did that game get close in the middle there, huh?
Yeah, it did in the fourth quarter for sure.
Yeah. Derek Carr needs a haircut.
He's gonna let divine intervention cut his hair.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, the Chargers.
You're almost talking me out of the Raiders again. It's just a Jesus mention.
Chargers are at home again. Short week for them. They get the Browns. Tough game. They're 2-point favorites, so they're saying
wow.
They're a point dog on a neutral field. Now, here's a piece of information that we need to know. Baker Mayfield has been playing with a torn labrum in his shoulder. Now, I've had that. Now, obviously, I'm not a professional quarterback, but it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And he's looked, he's struggled because he's playing hurt. I'm going to ride the home team, and the Chargers and that D looked good. And I think they'll get after him. I think they win by 3 to cover that spread.
Yeah, it's smaller spread than I thought. I like the Chargers to win the game. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. I wouldn't be surprised. I think a team like the Chargers, I think the Browns have a good attack and being able to run the ball, keep this low scoring. But I'm with you. I think the Chargers win the game.
You hear what Adam Schefter said? You probably
No.
didn't hear it during the rain delay.
No.
He's already calling Justin Herbert a Hall of Famer. He's like, I think he's going to be that good.
I mean, take it easy. That's ridiculous. I like Justin Herbert, and I think he's going to be great. I think he is great, but I think
it's reckless.
It's reckless.
I think the Chargers are the best all-around team in that division, offense and defense. And to me, it doesn't come close. I'm going to say it right now. They're the best all around. Now, whether they perform up to their level is a different question. I think if you look how they've played through 4 games.
I think this is a good test. This is a good litmus test game. We both think that they can, but to me, this is a big one. They're at home. They lost to the Cowboys at home. Their Cowboys lost at home away from being undefeated.
Yeah.
So now you have the Browns at home. I think this is a team that, very possible you could face in a playoff game. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
I'm sort of undecided on how good I think that the Chargers are. I believe that they are, better than the Browns and should win the game against the Browns at home. But like, to me, a big litmus test. If the Browns come in there and beat them, that would be like, okay.
I like their coach.
It's a stay away game for me, gambling wise, but I'll take the Chargers.
I like Brandon Staley. I like him as a coach. I like his ballsy fourth down calls. Former University of Dayton quarterback.
Good to know.
How wild is that? 2 head coaches in the NFL were quarterbacks at Dayton, Gruden and Staley. Like that's crazy to think. A small they're like, what is it? Division, what is it? FCS? What's the one?
Yeah. Used to be 1AA.
Yeah. Whatever 1AA. That's what Dayton is.
Yeah.
Two former quarterbacks, head coaches. It's pretty crazy.
Have you watched the Chappelle special, speaking of Dayton?
I have not. That's on my list.
Me either.
I see the wokes are already trying to come after him. I did watch the one clip of the I saw online about his jokes about what's the rapper, the baby.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's really funny. It's actually hilarious because anybody who gets offended by it, it's like you're not even listening to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll just say it real quick. He basically says, again, I don't follow this rapper. I guess this guy killed somebody.
Yeah.
He murdered somebody
like Walmart.
In a Walmart.
Yeah.
And Chappelle's joke is like, yo, dude, he murdered somebody in a Walmart and nothing happened to his career. He killed N-word in a Walmart. But then he said some homophobic stuff and he was canceled. And again, I'm paraphrasing Dave's bit.
Right.
You guys got to watch it. But Dave basically says, so in America, it's worse to hurt a gay guy's feelings than it is to kill a N-word. And I'm like, wow, like that's, but then that's taken as like you're anti-LGBT. And it's like, no, you're literally missing the point. He's saying you can kill a black dude and nothing happens to you.
Right.
But you make comments that hurt, like he said, gay men's feelings and you're canceled.
And also, I haven't seen it word for word, but like the baby's still out there and very much not canceled. So
sure.
But they try, they try.
Yeah. I mean, you see his point.
Yeah.
That was only like 30 seconds. I got to watch it. Okay. We just talked about the Cowboys. They're at home against your Giants. Man, this is a big spread. Is it my turn or your turn?
I believe you took the Chargers, so I believe it's my turn.
Yeah. 7 points, Joe.
Ooh, I had it higher than that. 7 is like actually where I think it should be. This is a tough one for me at 7.5, 8, 8.5. I would have taken my Giants. 7's right about where I think it should be. It's going to be a high scoring game, I think. Giants, hopefully Jason Garrett has figured something out in terms of Daniel Jones' ability. The Cowboys defense has been pretty good at taking the ball away, but I don't know. It really comes down to the Giants' protection. Like if the Giants can, give Daniel Jones the time that he had last week, I think that they could have a little bit of a shootout. That being said, I don't know if they can keep up with the pace. It's a division game for me. 7's too much. I'm going to take the Giants.
This is where I'm going to bet against you.
Okay.
You have your loyalties to your team, and I'm going to try to capitalize on that. I don't feel great about it.
I don't feel great about mine. And mine's not even a Giants homer pick. Like this is more of a NFC East, like anything could happen. Like, yeah, I think the Cowboys could very well blow the Giants out. But I don't know. 7's a lot for a interdivision Sunday 125. Fox marquee game, I'm assuming.
Yeah. San Francisco travels to Arizona. Big game for the Niners. Started 2-0. They've lost 2 in a row now. The Cardinals are 4.5-point favorites in this division game. Cardinals are looking good. They're riding high. To me, this is too big, though, because I just think the Niners are going to come ready to play. And 4.5, I know the QB situation is questionable right now with young Trey Lance. I think they're going to come ready to play and keep that closer than 4.5.
It's tough. It's tough. I think it's going to be a good game too. I'm gonna stick with the Niners. I'm gonna also go with the Niners. 4.5 is big. I think I'm gonna reserve the right to change that depending on how we pick in the last 2 games.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I mean, like, listen, the Cardinals are just playing so well that you got to figure the letdown games come from. And by the way, not a letdown game by any means, but like you got to figure where the Cardinals are going to be undone is going to be in these division games.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
They got, like, if they had lost to the Rams last week and came and blew out the Niners, no one would think anything of it. But they beat the Rams and now they like have a close game against the Niners. It seems like that's the way the division should go. 4.5, bigger number than it should be, I think. I'll go with the Niners as well.
All right, Sunday night game, a rematch of the AFC Championship last year. Buffalo travels to KC, where the Chiefs are a 3-point favorite.
This is a tough one, man. I mean, it really is. Here's what I'm going to do. I think this game is going to be high scoring. I think it'll be close. The Chiefs defense just isn't good.
I think it's the worst defense they've had.
Buffalo's defense is good. I think that you like Buffalo in this game. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Well, you thought wrong. Fuck. I think the Chiefs piece it together and put up a lot of points. And I don't know if Buffalo can match them. So for that reason, I'm going Kansas City.
All right, I'm swapping to the Bills then.
Oh, the old switcheroo.
I'm swapping to the Bills. I was thinking about swapping one of these because, like, you know, it's like, oh, do I swap the Cardinals? I'm going to swap the Bills then. I think, 3, man, it fucking sucked. There was a 0.5-point hook so many places. 3.5. I felt way better about it. 3. I hate, man. I'm not the Bills hype train is chugging along right now, and I'm not really on it. And people being fucking down on the Chiefs makes me want to bet them as well. Fuck.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it, because everyone's down on the Chiefs right now. I'm like, this is the game where everyone's down the
prime
Chiefs,
time,
and they put up 45 points.
The Bills have been scoring points.
They have.
What's the Chiefs' record right now? 3-2, 3-2,
2-2,
2-2.
Buffalo's 3-1.
Fuck. Oh man, I feel like this is gonna burn me.
Final decision.
Fuck.
I'm sticking with the Chiefs.
All right, I'll go with the Bills.
Okay.
I hate it. I stay away. I'm gonna regret that one. I don't even want to be rooting for the Bills. Fuck it. Let's go.
All right. Monday night game. Colts travel to Baltimore, where the Ravens are 7-point favorites. You're up.
I'll take the Colts. 7's too big. Monday night. I don't think the Colts are good, but I think it'll be an interesting game. I'm on the Colts with the points.
Yeah, I basically agree with you. I just 7's a lot. I don't think the Colts are good. I just think 7 is just a lot of points. It's a primetime game. Those games are usually close. They've been close. Here's a fun little rug nug for you guys. A rug nug, which I stole from the Athletic. So it's actually an Athletic nug. 15 games this season through 4 weeks have ended on a game-winning score in the final minute of regulation or in overtime.
It's wild.
It's the most in the modern era since they merged in 1970. 15 games just through 4 weeks. And in the final minute. It's pretty crazy. Those are our week 5 NFL picks. Now,
I don't love my picks this week. I don't, but
yeah,
I
don't
have
either.
loved
This was a tough week.
I loved my picks in the past couple weeks. And I think I'm down 2 games?
I think 2 or 3.
So maybe this is the week I make it up. Although, you know what? I'm in a couple pick'em leagues. I'm doing very, very well. So
yeah, I got 6. I won 6 last week. I'll never do that the rest of the year. I'm in a pick 6 league.
nice.
Yeah. So here's what we can do. Straight up, I do have a haircut. She's going to refrost my tips.
Yeah.
I kid. We can do a couple calls or we can save all of them.
Totally up to you. What's your timeline? When do you need to be out of here?
I got to be out here in 15 minutes.
Totally your call.
Okay. Let's do a couple calls. And I also really have to take a leak. So here's what we're going to do. Let's do 2 calls. I'm going to play this first call. I've already heard it. You can hear it. And then I'll hop in after I come back. But
perfect.
We'll start here with some DirtBall calls.
What's up, guys? Austin, South End DirtBall here. Wanted to bring up some of the commercials we're seeing these days with football going on. It's week 5. Really can't stand. It's getting to me the Subway commercials. Like, at this point, they're just making fun of the spokespeople. Like, they're like, yeah, Tom Brady, you don't even eat our subs. Like, what are you even doing on here? Like Bill Belichick, just a bunch of people that definitely don't eat Subway. So my question for you guys, it can be a coach or a player of any sport, who just epitomizes like a Subway sandwich? Like, who should be the perfect Subway spokesperson? In my opinion, I would go Kirk Cousins and I'd go Hugh Jackson. So let me know what you guys think. Stay dirty.
Really good call. I didn't know where this was going. I like this. And I actually think Kirk Cousins is spot on. It's like Kirk Cousins has all the information that Subway is trash, and yet he still eats it. Just like we have all the information that Kirk Cousins is still is trash, but people believe in him. It's like whoever's still eating Subway and whoever's still backing Kirk Cousins are one and the same. So I think I think it's an exceptional call, and I think it's an exceptional call.
So you like Cousins as
I love that, especially in the NFL. Kirk Cousins is. I mean, we could do other sport versions, but man,
I think Mike McCarthy is a great spokesperson for Subway, because you know what you're going to get. Just like when you go to Subway, like I won't go. I mean, straight up, I just won't. I won't at this point in my life. I won't go even if I'm on the road. Like, I'll just take any other option.
We have Terry Bradshaw calling in. Guys, are you ready for this? Y'all ready for this? I know this is going to upset some people. Ruth's Chris. A lot of people like it. A lot of people think it's good. I'll take Subway. I'll take Subway over Ruth's Chris. You know where you're getting. They're in every city. They're in every small town. You know where you're getting. There's yoga mats in the bread. The tuna's not tuna. Ruth's Chris is expensive. I mean, especially the next 5 years. I'll take Subway every time. Every time.
You said what? Terry Bradshaw would be a great spokesperson for Subway as well.
Terry Bradshaw would be awesome. Yeah.
He'd be perfect. By the way, those commercials have not bothered me as much. I look, I'm just not a fan of hers, and it's fine. Like, nothing against her. The Kate McKinnon Verizon commercials, her voice just makes me want to, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
I know you've got your setup, but like, especially unless I'm watching a single game. I essentially never watch commercials anymore. I'm just like bouncing around, volume changes, channel changes.
Well, so my setup is YouTube TV and then NFL Sunday Ticket.
Right. So you put a local game on YouTube TV.
Correct. And then the big screen will have 4 split games. So I have 5 games on at once. You can split them in squares. But
I never go squares.
But the squares I get like the commercials, man. I'm getting whatever they're giving the local feed.
Right. So I go YouTube TV for a local game. And then I go second game via whatever. And then if that second game, like if it's the Giants are on, obviously I have to use that Direct TV as my Giants, and then I have a local game on there. But then, like, if the Giants go to commercial, I'll go to Red Zone, or I'll go to a game that's like whatever. I'll check in. And now, if I'm watching a game, if the game I'm watching primarily is on the local, then I can do Red Zone on the other one, or I just flip around. Like I manually control it all the time. I never go with the box.
Most people can't handle it.
People
people come over and they're like, dude. Because on a big TV, this is a big TV. It's like 70 inches. So on a big TV, when you split 4 games, I can do it, but people will come over and they'll say, "Oh, I can't handle this, man. You have 5 games on at once. It's too much going on. Which game do I watch?"
I just like to have more activity. I like to be able to like switch this and switch that, volume up, volume down.
Well, I do that because I'm mirroring my computer.
Right.
So I can switch around, and I do. And I'm mirroring the volume. When that goes to commercial, boom, I'm hitting. Dude, I'm like a DJ on this 100% as well. Boom, that volume's getting muted. Volume's going up for this game and vice versa. Oh, this game's at halftime. We're going to switch this out. It's intense. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty intense. Running a marathon and watching 5 games at once are basically on the same level. Actually, doing the Ironman is probably not as intense as balancing 5 games Sunday Ticket. Okay, so we got through that one. That was a great call. I agree. Let's got some interesting calls here. This one's going to take a while, so I feel like let's save this for next week.
Okay.
Let's just do a quick hitter because this will be a quick discussion.
Perfect.
Hey, Joe and Andy, number 1 DirtBall South, Stephen Ermer calling. I just wanted to see what you guys thought on the fact of some of these helmet-to-helmet penalties. I mean, I know Devontae Adams got hit pretty good in the game last week, and they didn't call the flag. And, I mean, he ended up coming back in, but it looked like he was knocked out pretty good. But do you think that's something that they should enforce more and do it kind of like college where they can go back and look at it and eject a player from a game? Or do you think that there should be more repercussions than just a fine, if that at all? I don't know if they fine players for hits like that or not as much anymore, but just want to see what you guys think about that. Thanks, guys. Stay dirty.
Well, I think what's interesting about his call, and this is true, I never thought of this. Well, first of all, I hate the ejections. I don't think you should be ejected. That's what I hate about college football. But what I do like about college, which they don't do in the NFL, if they miss the play on the field, like that Devontae Adams play, they can go in the booth and go, dude, we completely missed this.
Yeah.
This guy got lit up. That's a penalty. I do like how college does that, but the NFL doesn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I disagree with you on ejections, although I think in college, the targeting thing is like too much. Like now you're getting guys ejected all the time. And I think in the NFL, a big defensive player getting ejected could entirely swing a game. That being said, I think that, egregious, purposeful, like the thing, you can never like really determine that for 100%. But if you think for 99.9%, like, I think guys should be ejected. If a guy purposely, like, if you think the intent is to hurt somebody, I think that you should be able to eject them. And also, I think just like we said with the taunting penalty, it's like I have no idea what the fines are on the back end, but I think that in the end, all of these guys, with the exception of 8 guys who are like, I would do this for free, besides Max Scherzer, who would, pitch in a dungeon, to feed his family or whatever. Like all these guys are playing for money. So hit him where it hurts. Hit him in the pocketbook.
Yeah. But I think they should definitely be able to review it. Like that,
Yes, why not? We're
that
reviewing everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And that particular hit that we're talking about he got lit up. He should
and then that game was so pathetic because on back-to-back plays, they don't call Devontae Adams. Then the Niners get the ball back, and like literally 2 plays later, they call the ticky-tackiest little fucking roughing the passer call on Jimmy G. It's like, guys, just have some fucking consistency.
Sure.
But you know what? Listen, the NFL has been and is still like the biggest danger, the biggest fear is like these guys who are just, the brain injuries and all that stuff. I just think if you go out of your way to hurt somebody, like I think they should be able to throw the whole book at you.
Yeah.
And I think most times it's pretty obvious when someone's done that. Like I think when Ndamukong Suh is like stomping on people's heads when they're on the ground, like throw them out of the game. After review, you're out.
310-359-8365. That is the hotline. We'll get to some more calls next week. Give us a ring. Drop your thoughts, questions, you name it. You guys can follow us on social, on Twitter at The Dirty Sports. Same for Instagram at The Dirty Sports. I sent out some koozies this week. If you do want some koozies, leave a podcast review and leave your Instagram or Twitter handle in that review, and I will contact you and I will send you koozies.
At Joe Prano on all social media except for Twitter at Fix Your Life. Follow me. Check out my website, joeprano.com for shows. I'll be in San Diego at the Comedy Store La Jolla with Eddie Ifft in a couple of weeks. One of my favorite rooms in the country. Come there. I will be in Florida and Wilmington, North Carolina with him in November. So those will be up on joeprano.com, but also follow me on Instagram because I post all the stuff there. This weekend in your great state of Ohio, Andy, is the End Can Walk Together to End Child Abuse and Neglect walk in Columbus. Go up, walk to end child abuse and neglect. Go have a beer under a mural of Urban Meyer and his wife at the Urban Meyer Pine House or whatever, but definitely make the trek if you're in the Ohio area to end child abuse and neglect. Go to endcan.org and get all the info. There's a Dirty Sports DirtBall group, and if you are in Ohio, you should join it.
All right, cool. That is the show, guys. Thank you for supporting us. We will be back in a few days as always. You guys have a great weekend. And don't forget, stay dirty.